Hey everybody, I hope you're having a great day. Okay, it's Sunday. Happy Sunday. So I labeled this my favorite saying. And what is that? So something that we often say and something that I say in our videos is don't mess up good for perfect. So we got up this morning, we went to church. Our day is going great, but I just checked all of the messages and I've only gotten through about 5 or 6 to respond back to all of you who have been messaging me, who I love answering all these questions. And the theme of the last 4, 5, 6 messages was, hey, I ate this, can I still drink my Keto Max? Or hey, I messed up yesterday, I feel like I messed up all of my progress. Or what happens if I go to a party and eat chips? Or what happens if this? Or man, I'm so frustrated because I've been trying to do this for years and it's not working. So I wanted to tell all of you who are like, you're on a path to better, right? You're here for a reason. You want to feel better, look better, whatever that is for you. And say, don't mess up good for perfect. I say this all the time, but if you're one of those people that truly struggle with having perfection or making sure that everything is laid out right, you didn't go to the grocery store, you can't start till tomorrow, you may have messed up this weekend, don't mess up good for perfect. Write it on your fridge, write it on a piece of paper, put it somewhere, because what I mean is this. Just because you may have slipped up this weekend, just because you may have eaten something that wasn't on your diet, right? Just because you may have hit the snooze button, just because whatever that just because is, or something didn't work out how you wanted to, doesn't mean you quit. It doesn't mean that you give up. It doesn't mean you just throw your hands up in the air and go, hey, I'm done. It's a mind game. So many things is a mind game. And every time you may fall or falter or not, it may not work out exactly how you want it to. It's up here. You have to listen to yourself. I mean, like most people listen to their self-doubt. They let their mind control what they're thinking, what they're feeling, the direction they're going. And how do you fix that? You have to figure out what is going to ground you back to you wanting to be right here, checking in and keep going forward after whatever that is. What's going to shift your mind? For me, if I'm in this place of like, oh, my day's not going right, I love music. So we'll turn music on or do a dance party. Just stop for a minute, turn a song on that you love, twirl around and be childlike. Like you have to change the continents of what you're in. My dad always tells the girls, it's kind of like shift, it's called, what does he say? Your OODA loom, right? You've got to shift. He talks about lots of things, but he calls it your OODA loom. You've got to shift something. You've got to switch what you're doing. You've got to change it. So go for a walk outside, call a friend and go, hey, I need you to get me focused. I'm not struggling. I have a challenge. Go read a book, listen to a podcast, do something that's going to shift your mind to where you can keep going and you're not going to be focused on that thing that you did that might have kind of slipped you off of your focus. So get your mind right. Also, there are people that will try to scare you or tell you what you're doing is not right. They may try to help you fall. They may try to make you fall. They may try to make you go question what you're doing. But when you're on this path of whatever you're called to, right? When you're on this path of focusedness and you've got a target you're after, when you're going after whatever that is, people will tell you what they think. And I'm going to give you an example because my daughter had this happen today. So we were at church this morning, right, Amelia? And this doesn't have to do with food, but this has to do with your mindset, because what people say to you also will determine if you're going to keep going after your better or not. So she was telling some people at church, she was talking to a man who sat down and he was like, don't you wish that you were at public school, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like almost questioning what I'm doing. Like, but don't you wish that you were at public school? And Amelia said, what did you say?
I said no, because otherwise I wouldn't get to travel because we're going to China. And if I was public school, then I wouldn't be able to go to China. And then you said a bunch of bad stuff about China. And I was like, okay.
Right. So she had somebody come up against her, kind of question what we were doing, said, kind of tried to deviate, like, don't you wish you had this, or maybe you should try this? And she just simply was like, no, because I wouldn't get to do these other things. So it's so interesting how people will try to come into your life and make you question what you're doing, try to create fear because they're afraid. You want to know what he told her? Your parents are taking you to Hong Kong, which our family's going to Hong Kong in a couple weeks. And then he tried to fill her mind with fear. Oh my goodness, you want to know what they do over there? He has no idea. But what he did is he tried to create fear into her life. And people will try to do that to you. Circumstances will try to do that to you. Anything that you do in life, guess what? If you don't succeed or if you don't go after what you want, it may create fear. It may create like you feeling not worthy. It may create all of these things. It is up here. Are you afraid to go to Hong Kong?
No.
No, there's no reason to be afraid to go to Hong Kong, right? There's no reason to be afraid of things that you have the opportunity in life to do. It's up here. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to always have something to ground you back to where when something deviates you or somebody says something, what is that? What is that thing? What is that book or that song, or what do you have to do to get yourself back into where you know what your why is, where you are stronger than what other people say, when you're stronger than what your mind thinks, right? You have to know your why. You have to stay on track. You have to be able to get yourself back on track, and you have to just keep going. Don't mess up good for perfect. If you fell off on yesterday and had a cupcake, get back on track today. If you hit the snooze button this morning, try to get your workout in later today. If somebody tells you that you can't do something, guess what? Go read a Bible verse, or go listen to a podcast, or go do something. Be around somebody that builds you up so that you know that you don't have to be afraid. Fear and faith cannot coexist. There's no reason to be afraid of something. And so
you'll never know if you don't try.
And you never know if you don't try, right?
Laura
Or if you
Russell.
keep trying. So, okay, that's what we got for you today. That was kind of long-winded, but check in below. How are you doing? How was your Sunday? Tag a friend if this was helpful, or tell them to join you on your journey. If you know somebody that's trying to change their life in whatever that way is, and if they just need support and accountability, tag them below and say join us, because anybody can join at any time. So have a great day. Happy Sunday. Anything else you want to say? That's it.
What was I going to say? Don't live life in fear.
Don't live life in fear. Okay, we appreciate you all. Have a good Sunday, and we'll talk to you later.